So the first question is, what's an intellectual? What does that mean? We might think of ourselves as intellectuals. I'm not going to answer that question. Next question, what's a scholar? What is a scholar? I don't have time for that. I'm not going to get into that. Next question, what's an expert? So everybody references experts. Okay, so I'm going to say some things about an expert. First, a key distinction on an expert. A claimed expert is whomever one references, explicitly or implicitly, via footnote, citation, or in-text reference. And we do this all the time.
Okay.
Right? How do you know about gravity? I mean, you didn't work it out yourself. You're trusting someone. You understand some things in your science courses. Okay. Now, a given expert might have stages of development and change over time.
Sure.
So to keep that in mind, so a given expert might have multiple texts and might evolve their position. This is problematic. Secondly, there's meta-experts. There's experts about what the experts say. There's meta-experts. There's experts about what the experts say. So just asking the question, what's an expert, it starts to get complicated real fast. The last part of my talk, just be brief. I'm going to give you 3 problems. There's the easy problem, the medium problem, and the hard problem. The easy expert problem is, who are the experts with factual claims in the sciences? Chemistry, biology, physics. Who are those experts? There are people who have a degree. I think is a necessary condition. They have an institutional affiliation. And that's necessary, but it's not sufficient to be an expert. Just because someone has a PhD from Harvard in biology does not mean alone that they're an expert. So you can't just say someone has a PhD from Harvard in biology means they're an expert in biology.
Can they be an expert without a PhD?
You have to write it down. You have to write it down. Curtis. The Curtis rule. So what's the sufficient conditions for being an expert?
Curtis rule is getting...
Curtis, you have to get a pen for him. So what you have to do is you have to also have a peer review practice. And a peer review practice means that you are a reviewer of peer review articles. You are reading the literature, the relevantly recent literature in your field. It means you're a contributor to that in your field at the expert level. You have to keep up a scholarship in your subfield. Usually most fields, you're only an expert in the subfield of the field. And as a way to check that, you can use things like indexicals, and there's citation indexes. There's a whole literature in tracking who's an expert in a given field. And there's rankings you have in terms of your citation index. You can use citation indexes to check all that. So in the sciences, the hard sciences is kind of easy. The medium expert problem is with the social sciences. Social sciences get a bit murky, but they also have empirical methods and a similar process. So I'm going to move on to the hard expert problem. The hard expert problem is with experts in the realm of value. That's where things get really fucking hard. And that has to do with politics, ethics, and art. And there is where we get really, really confused. We think everybody has an equal opinion. All equal opinions are equal. I don't agree with that. So who are the experts? How do you determine who the real expert is in actions of value? Peer review, all that stuff is nice. Degrees, but where the science is, you need a degree in institutional affiliation. You have to come from the mothership who has bestowed those degrees on you. It doesn't work that way with value. Okay, you can, you have to raise your hand. Okay. So, who should you trust? Ideally, you want to have a reading practice where you're reading people who are published in university presses, because university presses don't have a for-profit motive, and they have a peer review process that's much more rigorous than, let's say, Random House. So you don't want to go through Random House or Penguin Books. You want to go through a university press, ideally. Look at their publication record. It should be relatively recent. And there you're looking at people who are known by their colleagues in a community to really understand that language. And there it's murkier. And to know who those experts are, you're going to have to somehow on your own become familiar with who the meta-experts are in the humanities. So I'm going to end with this. What's an ideal human being? In a Western-style liberal individualist democracy. So we don't mean indigenous tribes, right? Where you have basic freedoms such that they can pursue their own life projects as long as they don't legally harm others, right? We're in that kind of cultural context. And here's what it is. All ideal humans, this is going to tie into the experts, should have an extended psychotherapy experience. So you want to be able to speak the psychotherapeutic language from your own experience, so at least 5 years of working with a therapist, I think. A meditation practice. You should be sufficiently well-read in the humanities, sufficiently well-read in the social sciences, sufficiently well-read in the sciences and statistics, have a healthy diet, exercise practices, a livelihood that improves other lives, long-term involvement in the creation of some kind of creative intellectual product that is of social benefit. I think in terms of those well-read practices, nobody has time to read everything. It's impossible, especially those who have children and all the rest of it. So what should you do? You should read what the experts say about the experts, and that is, the best publication for that is the New York Review of Books. Everybody should be subscribing to the New York Review of Books, reading it on a regular basis, because there you are going to be encompassing the experts in each field of the sciences, humanities, and social sciences, where they're reviewing the latest books written on that. Also the London Review of Books. And then if you have time, you can go to the other areas. And that's my presentation.
I love it.
Who do we 7 minutes.
Was that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.